All right, boys, we're going to start it off here. So, game number one, for a little bit of context and backstory, going into this game, we were super nervous and we had no idea what they were going to lock in. Obviously, they're an RMP main team like us, but they have other options to play, like jungle. They can play with their Feral Fuse. They could play RPS with Nuke Shadow Priest and Calvish on Asa. They have a couple options. But yeah, we coming into the series, we thought we'd probably lose, but we have a chance to win. So yeah, let's jump into it. So first game here. My nerves were absolutely bumping, bro. Was tingling. This is my first time playing on the big screen. Very, very, very nervous. Our strategy here, probably looking to kill the rogue. Usually going rogue in the mirrors, the main pick. But there's also something else to point out. Both the mages are actually just playing medallion. No one is playing the new trinket. Both mages are just playing medallion, so it is kind of normal, which means the mage is kind of a decent kill target too. I do think we were a little nervous and didn't really recognize that as much. So hopefully that changes. I run in here and I try to actually get a sap on the mage on his invis. And I believe I do sap him here on his invis. And this is where things get weird. Because, like, we want to open on the priest, but then all we're thinking is, do we want to open on the priest? Because the priest has, he might be playing res Lego. Is that even worth trying? And then as we're saying all this, Whaler gets sapped too. So now we're in a stalemate, right? We don't want to open on their priest, because if we open on their priest, then they're going to get the opener on us. So it gets a little awkward. So some shit's going on. Nuke sapped an invis, so I can actually see him and resap. And then Dopamine out of nowhere calls, yo, I found the rogue, and he Novas him out of stealth. So this is where shit gets fucking hectic, okay? He's Nova out of stealth. I'm saying, yo, can you DB the rogue? Calvish press Mark for Death. He DBs, and I think I try to press blind here, or maybe I try to stun him. So yeah, I stun him as Calvish is DB'd. I stun the healer, and then Whaler's chastising the mage. So what this means is Dopamine's able to sheep the healer, and then I'm able to kidney Calvish before he's at a Dragon's Breath. But since Kearney is just like really on top of his fucking game here, he instantly dispels the Dragon's Breath like a millisecond before I get the stun. So like, watch this. Watch how quick this dispel is. So he's in a Nova. To be fair, he might have been trying to dispel Nova. I don't know though. But watch the timing here, right? Dispel here, and then he's stunned right here. I even Shadow Step 2 inches to get it. So that was just nerves, man. You know, maybe if we were a little bit more confident and calm, we would have got a setup here. We probably would have forced Nuked into Trinketing to try to CS the Poly or something. We would have definitely got some type of advantage, but instead things go really hectic here. Because now, Kearney's in a stun, Calvish is free to do whatever. So Calvish presses Feint, and then he vanishes. So now Calvish uses Vanish on the setup. I try to feint back, and I just call fuck it. We get the sheep anyways, and then we go Mage. So all in all, not a terrible opener. We forced the Rogue to press Vanish, and we're getting an opener on the Mage right now. So we start pumping the Mage. We use Combustion. He trinkets, and he blinks away. So things are looking really good. We got the Rogue to Vanish, and we got the Mage to trinket. We've only used Polymorph. We haven't pressed Blind or anything. So we're kind of chilling. Calvish opens on me, and in my eye, this is where my nerves get the best of me. In my eyes right here, when Calvish opens up on me, I feel like he's about to stun me, and that their healer's coming out of CC. In hindsight, if I just stun Calvish here, he kind of fucked up, and we actually could get his trinket as well. So he opened up on me and didn't disarm me or anything. I disarmed him. So huge mistake by me here. You can see this. I think he Shadow Strikes in or steps in or something. So he steps to kick the Mind Games, and then he comes out of stealth. I think he cheap shots me and cheap shots into my Holy Ward. I think that's what happened. So right here, if I just stun Calvish, we're probably going to get his trinket, or we can swap and go the healer. Like, we're super ahead right here. Game is looking really good. We have control in the opener. Things are looking really sweet, okay? Instead, I'm under a lot of pressure. I fuck up. I disarm the Rogue. He disarms me back, and now we get put into this stalemate where neither Rogue can stun. Their healer's coming out of CC. It's kind of their turn to try to get a setup on us, so it's getting a little sketchy here. So Calvish goes around the pillar. I'm trying to keep him in combat, but not letting him get a stun on me. I walk away here. I'm walking away. Whaler's into a polymorph, so I'm being really careful that Calvish can't stun me. And then I dual nuked here, because in my eyes, Whaler's about to get re-CC'd by like a blind off that or something, and I'm going to get Dragon's Breath. So I actually read this play extremely well. I knew that Nuked was going to Dragon's Breath me, and Calvish was probably going to resap that or blind, and then they would do a setup on me. I pre-shadowy dueled Nuked here to avoid the setup being on me. And then what happens is Calvish is forced to go my healer. Dopamine sheeps Calvish on the setup. Insane defensive play. Sheeps the Dispel instantly. I'm sitting in a Polymorph from the duel. Nuke's doing no damage over here. This is extremely good defensive play from us. Honestly, if you were to look at this game right now, like, we are definitely outplaying in this game. We're definitely, like, ahead right now. Kearney had a really good Dispel, but, like, things are... It's always funny, because when you watch games back... Let me move my camera so it doesn't block... Maybe I'll put my camera, like, up top or something. Where's a good place to put it? Just down here, I guess. When you watch the games back, it always looks different than you remember it. Because right now, things look pretty good for us, right? We forced the Vanish. We forced the Mage Trinket. We just completely peeled their go. We had some nice defensive play. Things are looking really good. What they do is Calvish comes out. He ends up sending a cheap shot on me, and Whaler gets feared for 1 second here. Whaler comes out. He presses Guardian on me. They throw a Resonator. I faint, and I just walk out of the Resonator. Things are looking great for us right now, man. Things are looking super good. So I'm sitting here. I'm chilling. I'm absolutely nervous as fuck. I walk in here, and something important is about to happen. So Dopamine tries to DB Sheep Nuked, I think, but Nuke blinks it, so unfortunate there. I stun Kearney. And my goal is to stun Kearney into a blind. So stun Kearney, stun Calvish, blind Kearney. And I'm kind of making a setup on my own here. I know Calvish doesn't have disarm because we just double disarmed each other. I can probably see it on Omnibar. So as I stun here, I forget why. Okay, so I didn't stun Calvish. If I would have kidneyed Calvish here, this would have been better. But instead, I just stun Kearney so he can't press Fade, Death, or Ward. I run away from him so Calvish can't do anything to me, like duel me or something. Blind him, and then as I step back to stun Calvish, he blinds me half as well, dude, to stop my setup. So the game is so hectic right now, man. Everything is so fucking gas pedal fast paced. Like, he half blinds me to stop my blind on Kearney from getting a setup. Calvish gets behind the pillar here, and now he actually gets a re-stealth off this play. I run around like a dummy, and I get sapped here. And, like, I don't know. This is something that happens sometimes. This is why if you're playing a rogue, you should always spam re-stealth. If you have stealth ready, bro, you got to press stealth. So, to be fair, I probably just dropped combat right now, right as he sapped. But because of this sap now, both of the rogues use blind, and no one forces CD. They kind of cross each other out. He defensively blinded me to slow me down. I blinded his healer for the setup. We kind of crossed each other out. But now what happened is because of his blind, he got me into a little sap here, and then watch this. I'm sapped. He ends up just getting one more sap on me. And then right here, as he kidneys me, I believe something happens to Whaler, right? Kidneys me. They throw a Resonator. Nuke sheeped here. And then Whaler has... I should actually be fine. Oh, no, he duels me here. Yeah, no, wait. This was actually... Okay, sorry. This setup was actually fine. We completely played good defensively here as well. I thought this was a moment where we trinketed. So they actually just went with like a sap into like a stun duel with Resonator. I called the Resonator. Whaler ran in, soaked it with me, and we're actually fine here. Yeah, I just get topped up. I press feint when I come out. Okay, so once again, we're owning this game. We're like on top of this shit, bro. We're not choking at all yet. Everything's looking really good. This game, once again, is in our favor. Blinds are both out of the game. I still I don't have my Vanish anymore, so like the only actual advantage happening right now is we have actually sorry, Dopamine Trinketed too. So this game is basically a tie game. This is basically a tie game. They are off stun DR and we are on stun DR, so we're technically ahead, but the game's extremely close right now. So let's see what happens. We push up. I'm walking at Calvish. I know I want to stun him soon. I'm talking to my team, seeing if we can get CC on their healer, what's going on. And then right here, I press Kidney on Calv. And I know that Kearney's there, but I just want a Kidney shot before I come off DR because we can't get any CC. So I press Kidney. Kearney grips it. I step, and then I restun, and then I try to stun Kearney, I think, to try to get more CC to just do damage. And then what happens is I realize, like, hey, man, we're not going to kill this rogue. We're not going to get CC on this priest. We're chasing in a really bad position. And then I see a window right here. I say, yo, the mage has no trinket, man. I'm going to bomb the mage. I go for the 180 here. I step, cheap shot, no grip. I bomb the mage, and I start sending him. And we got no fucking damage. This is so bad, bro. I send the cheap shot. Calvish walks in. He just presses disarm on me. They don't fucking give a shit. This was a definition of a choke moment right here. This is a tournament choke play right here. Trying to send some crazy bomb. We're not going to kill this guy, man. He's got cauterize proc. He's got ice block. Like, this is absolutely a waste of smoke bomb. We could have used the smoke bomb in a much better way to force like the rogue trinket or something. So this was one of the first chokes of the games here. So right off that, Calv comes, easily disarms it. He stops Whaler's cast, and then Kearney's in a full sheep here. This was another huge mistake. So instead of doing damage on the smoke bomb, Dopamine actually went for CC. So now we're in a really weird spot where I think Calvish is still on stun DR. Nuked is now on stun DR. And then we have their healer and a sheep, which means our only logical option, if we do want to do a setup, is we have to go healer because we have no stun DRs. So I disarm Calvish on his Shadow Dance as he presses Kidney. Really good defensive play again. Now Calvish has to run. And then I think right here is where I'm calling, yo, let's go healer off the sheep. Let's go healer off the sheep. So Calvish has no disarm. We're doing a bit of DPS at the mage. Calvish comes out. He stuns me. Okay, so this is actually where I ended up trinketing. Whaler's in a Ring of Frost, and I trinket on the cheap shot and press cloak. I kind of have to trade my CDs high here, because since I only have cloak, if I trinket too low, I'll just die through my trinket. The rogue will kill me. So I trinket on the cheap shot. I press cloak with my Curium potion, I think. Kind of unfortunate. Whaler comes out of ring in 2 seconds. I guess he gets resheeped. But yeah, it was really tough here. This is where things start going downhill. I think this must be where we're calling to go healer now, because still the stun DRs are kind of whack. So Calvish is in a sheep. We have no poly DRs for the healer, and I'm just sitting in a Nova, and I'm calling go healer, go healer, go healer. I think you can see my mouth saying that, go healer. So I get dispelled. I step. I kidney the priest. I think Rogue was Nova or something, but he might have got out. Calvish runs up to me here. Nuke DBs to peel dopamine. And then right here, I make a decision. I said, yo, this priest is not going to die in the stun, man. Let's go Rogue. I'm like, switch your sheep to Rogue, man. Switch your sheep to Rogue. So I start spam yelling at my team to get CC on Kearney, and I stun Calvish before he can do anything. So I'm just stunning Calvish. I re-stun Kearney here to make sure we get CC. We get a double fear, and we are just pumping DPS into Calvish. Third restun, we got leftover combustion. Mind Games comes in, we smoke up Calvish. Calvish cloaks and Curium pots here. I shadow strike him. He goes down to literally negative health, man. What is this guy doing, dude? We proc his cheat death here, and he somehow weasels by. I don't know, man. You guys tell me what you think about that, but you guys let me know what you think. I don't know. He's got no CDs left. He has evasion technically, but really unfortunate. I guess their healer does have a trinket guardian, so he's not necessarily dead. But we proc his cheat death here. Really, really tragic. Anyways, we're just pumping DPS. I half sap off the poly. We get a half DB, and we're just running at Calvish. Right here, I get kidney shotted. He kicks Whaler on Shadow, I believe, right? Is that what it was? Yeah, so Whaler's casting a mind control. So this is a really good play by Calvish here. Calvish locks Whaler on Shadow, which means that Whaler is going to get free sheeped. He can't use Death and he can't use Fade because he's Shadow locked out. Which means Nuke can just cast Sheep on him. So Calvish kicks that, probably tells Nuke to do that. Stuns me. I pre-feint the stun here, by the way. At 100%, I read this like a fucking beast. I pre-feint the setup at 100%. Who saw that animation, baby? Who saw the animation? One more time. Just to show the value of feint here, by the way. Pre-feint, kidney lands. Dopamine gets chastised, so he can't really help. I'm getting blasted in the stun here. I got no trinket. Whaler has trinket. Whaler presses Guardian on me before the sheep lands. So kind of a smart play. I come out of the stuns here in 1 second. So right here. I don't know if I have a Shadow Step or not, but I do have Kick. And I'm just dying. And I'm talking to Whaler. We're trying to decide if Whaler's got a trinket to save me or not. Because Dopamine's Ice Block ain't going to save shit. There's no point in him trying to do something crazy. He did come out of CC. I'm talking to Whaler, and I'm like, okay, you probably have to. You probably have to. They proc the Guardian. Whaler trinkets, procs a heal enemy. Instantly, Calvish restuns him half. Nuked gets a resheep off of that. And I don't know if I had a step, like I said, but if I had a step kick here, I could have step kicked Nuke to stop the sheep. And then we have another Serenity really soon. So I don't know. I might have lived, but I think I tried to step kick here. Did I miss it? I think I just missed the kick. I was too slow. So yeah, I see the resheep. I try to step kick, and I'm too slow. The resheep goes off on Whaler, and then I just kind of die here, man. And I'm just throwing a laugh because I'm like, it is what it is, man. I'm like, it is what it is. It was a good game, you know? Watching this game back, though, everything kind of happened in like a 30-second window. This was actually a really close game, like watching this back. Both teams were doing really poorly offensively and playing decent defensively. So, yeah. So game 2, underway. We're playing our same stuff. We know he's playing Cheat Death now. We still think they might be playing Res Lego. Same game plan, you know, probably going to look to go Rogue in the mirror. Usually that's what we do. With like Mage POV on review. It's just whatever the casters went. This opener is really funny. We actually kept walking over each other. So something went actually really bad here, man. That's just from today's Aqua. It's been a crazy day. So something went really good and bad here. So on the opener, we're on top of each other. We're both spamming sap. I believe I sapped his ward off and he got rewarded. And then the same thing happened to me. I got rewarded and my ward fell off. So, okay, Calvish AoEs me out of stealth. I have a ward up, and I think he does too. And then right here, I'm pretty sure Whaler purges his ward. So I have a ward. Calvish's ward gets purged, and I just look at the position. I just step kidney, and I instantly smoke bomb. And now, in my eyes, the priest is so far away here. If we just send combustion, and I duel this rogue low, we're going to kill him, or we're going to force his trinket, for sure. As I kidney, I didn't realize this till after, the rogue's health has not moved at all. The kidney is down to 2 seconds now. The rogue's health has not moved at all. And I'm wondering, what is going on? This guy's taking no damage. And I actually watched this from my point of view. So this whole time, I'm going to open up my point of view, guys. 1 sec. He knocks me out. His gets purged. And I'm like, he's not going to expect this. He steps me, cheap shots my ward off, kidney, bomb, insta, because I'm looking where they are. He's not going to grip this, right? So I swear, any rogue mage player looks at this situation right here and you go, bro, you're about to force a trinket, right? Whaler's casting Mind Games, Dopamine's casting Poly, and for some reason, I still don't understand this, Dopamine is just walking around like a little helpless fawn in the woods. Just watch what happens with Dopamine here. He's just running around, bro. I have the kidney, no bust. Dopamine's just running around, no bust. Dopamine's just running around, no bust. Dopamine decides to press Dragon's Breath randomly, and then he starts busting now. When the stun has 1 second left. Anyways, we get the double DB. I'll go back to the other screen here, so you guys can watch this. I just wanted to show that one angle. I'm wondering, I'm like, how do we not force anything? And then this is where things get tragic, right? Kearney walks up, triple fucking fears us. And right here, I'm like, okay, we're triple CC'd. They send kidney on me, and what I'm looking for is, I'm like, is Nuke going to commit bust? If he commits bust on this triple CC, I have to trade. So that's what I'm looking at. As I'm doing that, Whaler wills out of the fear and deaths a poly, and I'm just like tunneled because I'm so nervous, and I see the bust, and I trinket, bro. I trinket mid-fucking air like a little piss clown, bro. So, really fucking bad overlap here. Really unfortunate. This is a good example of a Palumor tournament choke. This was so nerve-wracking, bro. Like, I was so tunneled in on looking at, like, 1 or 2 things that I was not being, like, my normal self and being aware. So, anyways, I completely just waste my trinket here. Whaler used his will to death the poly and completely made a good play here. I wasted my trinket. Really, really sad. And I think I cloaked with it, too. I did cloak with it, yeah. So, in this game, things are looking really shit. We're down rogue trinket cloak. We're down combust. They're down combust. We did not force the CDs. We're down will the Forsaken. Not good, man. So they try to stun Whaler here. And I don't know if they're swapping to hit him, if that's what they're doing, but Calv's doing something. I step kicked the polymorph on Nuked, and I think right here I said, let's go healer, let's go healer, let's go healer, because like we don't have stun dealers to go the rogue. We don't want to go the mage. So I run at the healer, and then as I'm running here, something's about to happen. Yeah, I go in a cheap shot and I throw a resonator. And then Calvish is nowhere near to help. Nuked is in a sheep. But we just didn't connect as a team here. Like, I think Whaler's like trying to keep the rogue. Dopamine's CCing Nuked. And by the time like everyone connects and we throw the resonators, like, I mean, the go's just over. Nuke just eats them up. This was just really poor offense, really forced. Like, we did not need to try to force this. This was like kind of rushed by me. We definitely should have slowed it down. So this is a bad play number 2 already. Calvish now pops a offensive Cloak of Shadow so he can't get feared by Whaler. And Calvish is doing a really good job here. What he's doing is he's actually just getting Whaler's Fade and his Holy Ward and all that kind of shit. He's making sure that Whaler is ready to get stunned so they can stun into Poly or something for the setup or press blind. So Calvish cloaks here, make sure he doesn't get feared or chastised. He vanishes because he thinks he's about to get pre-feared. So this is what the enemy team thinks. Calvish right now thinks that Whaler's going to press Chastise on him and that I'm going to blind Kearney at the same time. And then we're going to get set up on Calv. That's what they think. So Calvish has no cloak. So he pre-vanishes, which is a good play by him. He vanishes here. Dopamine's trying to knock him out. Something happened to me here, right? Yeah, I was walking over to go Calvish. He pre-vanished as I walked over. So then I decided to play a little defensively because now we don't have stun dealers on the healer or mage. We're not going to kill either of these guys. Oh, you did get the cloak on the fear? Yeah, I said you cloaked so you couldn't get feared, but that's nice that you actually got it. So right here, I'm trying to defensively position because my only kill target's the rogue. There's no point in being mega deep, But in hindsight, like, I should give my healer some distance to grip me, potentially. If they try to so right now they could bomb on this. My healer's right here with no fade or is ward soon, but they actually blind my healer from stealth, chastise me, and they actually do the exact same setup that we probably were about to do to them, because Calvish had a nice pre-vanish and we're like a little bit slow for some reasons, but I don't remember. Anyways, they get the setup here. Now this is where it gets awkward, right? Because in a blind setup like this, traditionally, somebody probably has to trinket. Like, you probably will not survive this setup. So in my eyes, I wasted my trinket on the opener. I'm like, okay, Tony, we're fucking up right now. You probably got a trinket to save me. And then I look over at my fucking party frames, and Tony has no trinket for 8 seconds or some shit because he used Will of the Forsaken. And I'm just thinking, fuck, man. I'm not playing cheat death. Like, we're dead right here. We lose the game. We lose the game. They throw 1 resonator. They throw 2 resonators. Calvish is pumping damage. Dopamine comes in like a fucking hero of the sky. Like an eagle of the fucking night. Like a crow of the fence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a scarecrow of the garden. He comes in. DB's the rogue. Creates a stun gap with the DB. Because of that, I'm able to vanish out of here and survive. If Dopamine didn't come to soak these grenades and save me, my fucking asshole was about to have one of these fucking lay stacks things shoved right up there mega deep. So Dopamine going hero mode. We do appreciate that massively. I think he locked the mage on fire too. So big shit by Dopamine here. This is why we got him on the back line, man. This is why we got Dopamine, okay? People call him the Dopamine, but he's actually the Dopa Dream, okay? You put Dopamine in hero mode, he's gonna fucking show up. That's what I'm talking about. Right here, get the pre-vanish on the gap. They do a hard swap to Dopamine. They're trying to use the rest of their damage to get value out of it. Dopamine decides to sit this. Really greedy play. Gets the reshield off. Actually sits that, greeds Cauterize, Trinket, and Ice Block. I'm over here getting broken out of Vanish from some random piss, and as I get broken out, Calvish runs behind the pillar and gets holy warded. Wait for it. So right here, I'm just going, fuck me, man. I'm now knocked out of stealth. I got no trinket. We're fucked, man. This rogue's getting a re-stealth with a ward, right? So I get another re-stealth, and then I think Nuke just AoEs me out again. So I'm in stealth right here, trying to think of something to do, and then I get knocked out of stealth right here, I think. Any second now. And the second they knock me out, I completely shit on them again. This is so good, okay? Defensive gameplay. I see them pushing up. I think I see as soon as Calv presses cheap shot, I duel Kearney here, right? So the reason I'm dueling is because if he's committing stun DRs to my healer, they're probably about to do a setup. So really good defensive duel here. And then Calvish has no one to go. He's sitting here kind of confused. Dopamine DB's the ward off, but Dopamine also does something really big here that fucks me. Dopamine DB's the healer. And if you guys don't know how Shadowy Duel works, Shadowy Duel is very weird interaction, and it doesn't track DRs. Yeah, I see now, Dopamine, I see. So Kearney gets Dragon's Breath in the duel when he's already on a half DR, and we don't know about this. And then the second the duel ends right here, the duel ends, it says Kearney is off Dragon's Breath DR in like, I don't know, he's off blind DR in like 4 seconds or something, right? So we're hitting Kearney for a sec here. Calvish is running away. And then I step over to stun Calvish as we ring Kearney. Calvish steps at the same time. His kidney goes off first. That's kind of just unlucky, honestly. Can't do much about that. This could have been a good setup. They bomb me here. I think we're fine. Whaler just fades into the bomb. Calvish tries to make an aggressive duel, but like this is just kind of choke. This is fine. And then now we're doing a setup on a Calv here. So Kearney is sitting in a ring, right? And I'm on Calvish, and we're pumping. And then I say, yo, guys, I have a full blind. We can blind Kearney and go nuked right now. We can get a really good setup on nuked. Nuked just trinketed. He has no trinket. We can get his ice block and maybe kill him through that, right? Obviously, I didn't say all those words, but I called a swap on a nuked here. I said, I'm going to full blind and we go nuked. I'm assuming we're just going to like Nova the Rogue or Sheep the Rogue or something. So I walk over. Any second now, I think this is when I'm communicating it. This is when I'm calling it, right? And then I walk over, and Kearney right here, he's not trying to death my blind. And this is very unlike Kearney. Usually right here, Kearney's trying to death my blind or do something or fade or ward. And he's not doing anything. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm in a tournament. I'm not going to hesitate. And I press blind, and holy fuck me, bro. It was triple DR because the Shadowy Duel just completely lied to me about the DRs, man. What happened is a Shadowy Duel finished as Dragon's Breath was active or something like that. There's some weird interaction, so I couldn't see. So as I blind Kearney, man, Calvish gets sheeped. In my head, the setup is God tier. We're about to go nuked. He's got no trinket. We're going to fuck him up. Nuke sheeps me because the pre-DB, or I mean, Nuke sheeps me and then DB's dopamine, so we're not going to get it right away. I get dispelled, and I'm getting ready to go, and then I go, look at my face, bro. Look at my fucking face. I'm sitting here going, what? I'm like, why is my blind over right now? I'm like, why is my blind over? What? I'm sitting here so fucking... Look at me. Look at me. I'm like, that was not DR. Like, that's what I'm saying. Because I realized afterwards the duel bugged it out. So I'm like, bro, there's no fucking way, man. Anyways, the game's about to go downhill here. So our setup gets fucked. My blind gets pissed on. Their rogue gets dispelled at a sheep because their healer should be in a blind. This should have been an insane setup. We would have forced the mage to block or the healer to trinket. We would have been right toe-to-toe this game. Dopamine sells trinket and block to try to peel for me. I don't have a lot of CDs. I might just die anyways. It's tough, bro. It's tough to say. Like, I don't know. Maybe we would still die the next setup. It depends what dopamine could do to save us. But, yeah. We got fucked here. This was the most... Okay, so the two biggest things that fucked us this game, the bomb on the opener, we just didn't do any damage in it, and we didn't capitalize off our opener. Terrible. And then, like, a bunch of other stuff was bad. And then right here, this setup, the triple DR blind, this put us so far behind, man. So tragic. So, Nuke Nova's me. I think I'm communicating. We send the stun DRs anyways, just to make sure. And then right here, I think I try to pre-feint. I put a stun on Calvish. He gets gripped out. I'm just doing stuff with my dance, right? I know I'm about to fucking die, and I have nowhere to fucking go. These guys are pushing around the pillars like a bunch of fucking, what are those things called? Piranhas. And I'm waddling away. Nuked catches a double DB on the edge of the pillar here. So unfortunate. Dopamine sitting over here in Polymorph. Everybody get ready to say dopamine in the chat. Get a dopamine lined up right here. Ready? Dopamine's in the poly. Calvish walks by to just resap to keep the CC going. As he presses resap, dopamine trinkets into it. Oh, fuck me. There's no way you just got sapped on your trinket. Fuck me. Dopamine literally sits here like a little dopamine. Completely useless on the last setup here. Doesn't trinket blink CS just because absolutely pissed on, bro. And I'm just so fucked, bro. I'm so fucked. I pre-Kyrian filed the setup here, by the way. I pre-popped Kyrian file right here. Right here, you see me take a little swig of that shit? So all I'm saying to my team, I'm like, it's over. I'm like, I pre-Kyrian potted. I'm like, I pre-Kyrian potted, man, you know? Dopamine uses Ice Block as well. He comes in to press DB. But even when the stuns finish, they don't finish. But even if they did, all I can do is, like, try to press Feint again. Like, I'm just not going to live that setup. Whaler was 0.6 seconds from coming out of the sheep, and he did have Guardian. So maybe I could have lived, but it's just combust damage, man. So opener starts here. So watch what happens. I get the step sap on Nuked. And dopamine gets step sapped as well. I decide, yo, dopamine just got sapped. Nuked is so far away. I'm just going to send a fucking solo resonator big damn go here by myself while Calvish is really far away. And as I'm doing this, I am pumping the fuck out of Kearney by myself. Calvish is walking over in stealth. I get one more restun. Kearney gets really low. And then Calvish kind of fucked up, I think, because he was really far away instead of just like disarming me. So he blinds Whaler here, which is really good. So I pre-vanish right here before he gets to me on the blind. I get him on his step, so I pre-vanish. He used the step to get to me. The blind sits, and then they go dopamine. Dopamine pre-alters the kidney at 100%. So we fucking owned this opener. Like, it kind of sucks that we committed our damage here. We didn't use Bust, but we did send a big opener. I think I used Resonator or something. Well, actually, no, I was playing Battlemaster. I guess I didn't Resonator. And then when I'm in stealth, I decide I'm going to revert the pressure. So I'm asking, yo, I can blind Kearney. Can we get CC on Calvish? I think it would have been like a Trinket DB or something. But then what happens is I blind, and then I think Calvish just vanishes too, right? I don't know. Oh, I'm in a Nova, bro. I'm in a Nova right here. Damn, this is really tragic. I'm in stealth in a Nova. Okay, I remember what I'm about to do, guys. I remember making a decision. I was like, dude, the blind's gonna end. Our go is fucked right here. And I just fucking cloaked the root, bro. I cloaked the fucking root in stealth to sap it. Fuck that Nova. I cloaked out of that bitch. I go sap Kearney. And then I go to step stun Calv. I think I stunned the mage on the way. And then Calv stuns me. So, yeah. This was some fucking troll shit. They go me. They do like kind of a bad smoke bomb. I'm fine here. This is just tournament nerves, right? Like, Calvish would never do the smoke bomb. But I'm telling you, when you just play in a tournament, man, you're just, everything's on the line in that one game, and then nerves come out, and you start trying to make it. This is like my smoke bomb on a grand, right? In his eyes, he's like, oh, maybe this is a good play, and then he does it, and he's like, fuck, and you instantly know, bro. So, like, that's tough, dude. Dopamine's floating around here with some fucking feather effect. I don't even know. He gets locked out. I get pre-sheeped. Whaler gets put into a ring, maybe. I think that's our ring. Dopamine gets sheep from the shifting power. Really unfortunate. I'm going for a re-stealth here. I think I stun Kearney here to go Calvish. And then as I stun for one of them... Okay, so this is pretty sick. Dopamine Dragon's Breaths onto Nuked here. He blinks in to get the sheep. And then Nuked is going to trinket the DB to CS Dopamine. And he actually fakes him. Watch this. Dopamine fakes the trinket CS from Nuked. Really sick play. And then he cast sheep again, but now Kearney's able to fade it. So it was a good play by Nuked. He still stopped the polymorph, even though he got faked. It was a good play. But good shit by Dopamine there as well. So now Dopamine's going to peel Nuked. He's going to sheep him. And we're just setting kind of a piss setup here. Oh, everyone started disconnecting here for like fucking 5 seconds. Everyone was lagging the fuck out. And I remember saying to my team, I'm like, yo, I'm like, Dopamine's DCing. And I'm like, wait. I was like, I'm DCing. I'm like, boys, what's going on? Anyways, I gotta get through these faster, though. So we're going here. I pre-duel to go. We're kind of lagging. Things are kind of confusing. The lag is still happening, clearly. I get gripped. I actually made a really good play here. I actually called to Whaler. I was like, yo, I can get bombed on this Chastise. No, he doesn't have bomb. I didn't say that. I think I was saying, do you have grip? Do you have grip? And then he gripped me out on the Chastise. So then Calvish steps in. He presses Shadow Dance, and he cheap shots Whaler. I disarm the dance again. Really good defensive gameplay. Calvish is now forced to not be able to do anything. And then I step kick the poly as well. So this is just like perfect gameplay here. Perfect defensive. So disarm the dance. Nuke goes for the sheep. Step kick the sheep. I'll protect the fuck out of my healer. Tony ain't said no CC. Fuck that, man. Now we get double DB'd here, okay? Dopamine's got to go hero mode. Dopamine walks up. He CS's the Ring of Frost. And now we're like, all right, boys, we denied all their CC. It's going to be hard for them to get CC. They don't have DB or stuns. So right here, I'm walking at Calvish. I'm ripping up. And then I think I pre-evasion his kidney here too. Guys, oh my, yo, chat, gas me up, boy. Gas me up, boys. Gas me up. Watch this. I rip around the corner, and I'm like, all right, this piss clown is going to try to kidney me so hard here. I pre-evasion right here, and I eat that fucking kidney for lunch, baby. Oh my god, give me that shit. So I pre-evasion the kidney. I cheap shot the ward off. I cheap shot the healer. I try to kite the rogue, and then he vanished on my step kidney. So just like that, we trade my evasion for his vanish. Kind of another weird trade. Both of us have used stun DRs on each other's healers. It's kind of awkward. And then I think right here in a second is where we make the call. So they stun me. They don't get any CC. This is kind of a weird stun that Calv did. I'm not too sure. Like I said, tournament shit just happens. Calv's going for a re-stealth, and then Kearney starts running away, right? So as soon as Kearney's running, I'm like, okay, they're positioning defensively. I see Kearney all the way at the other pillar, all right? I'm going to show you guys my POV again on this. Hold up. And then watch this. I remember turning my camera. I remember watching them run. Calv gets a re-stealth. I'm trying to line him. And then I see Kearney crossing. The second Kearney's crossing, look at me turn my eyes, bro. I just see this mage without a trinket, and I have smoke bomb. So all I'm thinking is, bro, I check where Kearney is, and then I go to step, send the smoke bomb. I get polyed. I check where Kearney is again. I'm thinking, bro, this guy is so far. We are going to fucking get block or kill this guy for sure. I get a re-stealth, I kidney, smoke bomb. We throw one resonator. We have bust. We have mind games. Calv tried to kick it, but he was a little bit late. So mind games lands here, right? That's all I want you guys to know. Mind games is up. The bomb is up. The bust is rolling. Kearney's nowhere near to grip him or save him or anything, right? And then watch this shit, bro. Watch this shit. Look at Nuke's health, man. Nuke goes down. He has mind games, okay? He will die into a seed pod if he goes down here, okay? Nuke sits the stun and blinks out because I'm disarmed. Like, what? And I have trinket too. So the thing is, my dance ended, so I couldn't have trinketed aggressively anyways to restun him. But look at this shit, bro. If I imagine I trinket evis right here. If I trinket eviscerate, like, we could have just won this game right here. This is such an insane greed. I can't believe Nuke sat that. Calv said that he was the one calling the greed because he disarmed, but like, dude, look at that, man. That is so insane to me. Dude, in a tournament, to sit a Mind Games combustion smoke bomb like that. But that was just crazy, bro. I can't believe he sat that smoke bomb. Fucking insane to me, bro. Look at my face. I'm like, he actually just sat that. I'm like, oh my god, fuck me, bro. I'm like, we just used bust, Mind Games, bomb, and we got nothing on a mage with no trinket. We are fucking out of this series, bro. So Calv comes in on his re-stealth here. He nuke DB's Whaler's ward off, I think. And then Whaler gets cheap shotted half. They kidney me. Whaler puts Guardian on me. They throw a Resonator. Whaler has no fade here, but he runs in to soak the Resonator. I'm fine. This might have been a choke Guardian by Whaler. I don't think he had a Guardian here, but it was hard to tell if the CC would come. Things are going back and forth. They attack Dopamine a little bit. Dopamine's chilling. Now, this is a really clean setup here. This is sick. So I walk over to Kearney. Kearney has ward. I think I stun the ward off, and then I stun him before he fades. So this is unlike, this is also tournament nerves. Usually Kearney would probably get a fade off here, but I stun him. Kidney Calvish, he has nothing to press. Nuke gets DB'd. On the DB, we chastise off of that. We ring the healer. Big kidney setup on Calv. We throw a resonator. Cheap shot again. Cheap shot. We force Guardian and Trinket from Kearney. So things are starting to turn around, okay? At this point of the game, we're actually leading. We're actually leading the game right here, okay? Their rogue has no buttons at all, okay? He has Trinket with no Vanish, no Cloak. I guess he has Duel, right? So he could Trinket and Duel, technically. Their healer has no Trinket, no Guardian. The mage has no Trinket. He's only got Block. We've got my Trinket. We've got my Vanish really soon, my Cloak really soon. We got my Blind in 14. Things are looking really fucking good for us, man. Like, we're looking super good here. Whaler has Trinket, Fade, Double Serenity, Apoth. Like, everything's chilling, right? And then right here, we get a full sheep. We're still DPSing. I disarm Calv as I get pre-sheeped. Not much else I can do. Just delays his time of getting Whaler's stuff off. Whaler fades while he's disarmed because Nuke's chasing him too. So Whaler's trying so hard to not get CC'd. Dopamine gets a nice double Nova. I get re-sheeped again into fear. Calvish steps and kidneys Whaler for CC. Runs at me with cheap shot. And all I'm saying is like, yo, if I have to Trinket here, I'm going to Trinket and I will blind the rogue as pre-CC. So I actually make what I thought is a pretty sick play here. So I'm watching. They press blind on Whaler. Whaler has Trinket. I call for my Trinket to go offensive. So I Trinket here because it's bust damage on the restun. I'm about to Trinket right. In hindsight, I don't know if I had to Trinket this. It just felt, it's so hard to tell what the damage. It's so weird, man. The bust damage is so like, he was like casting in the, I don't know. I think it's a fine Trinket. Anyways, I Trinket Vanish. I blind the rogue in place here, right? Blinding him means that they cannot sap Whaler. I think Nuke just cast Poly anyways, though. So Whaler gets Poly'd here. I stun Kearney. I stun Nuked to cover the mage. So this way Dopamine can cast the sheep on Kearney without getting CS. Because Nuke doesn't have CS here anyway, so fuck me. I wasn't looking at that. And then I run over to Calvish. I wait until he gets the sheep. He gets the polymorph. I send the cheap shot here, and I think I have a kidney out. I must have not had combo points. Nuked runs at me with Soul Shape trying to Dragon's Breath to create a gap. Unfortunately, he does get the DB at the very end there. So Calvish doesn't have to Trinket out of this. But like I said, Calvish has no CDs here. Calvish having Trinket doesn't really mean that much. But then what happens is really sad. We're pumping him. And then he steps Whaler and gets a duel, man. So he actually duels out. Whaler gets the Mind Games as he Curian pots too. So Calvish actually was very close to dying here if he didn't have Shadowy Duel. But it was a good play by him, man. At this point, the game's looking bad. Calvish still has Trinket. Cloak's coming back up. Vanish is coming back up. I just used my Trinket Vanish. I used my Blind. Things are starting to turn around a lot here. So Kearney's getting DB'd off the sheeps, I believe. Calvish is getting a re-stealth. Dopamine runs in to keep Calvish. Calvish cheap shots the ward off as I'm in a pre-sheep. He cheap shots again. Press kidney shot on me. And then I choked really hard here, man. They get a full ring here. We have no way to stop that. I think Dopamine... What did Dopamine CS here, actually? Because I just saw Dopa CS. Did he try to CS the sheep, maybe? Okay, so Dopamine got faked by a sheep here. That's really tragic. He gets the Ring of Frost. Smoke Bomb to cover. They're pumping me. They're pumping me. And now here's my big mistake, right? What cooldowns do I have, chat? I've got Shadowy Duel, and I've got Curian Potion, and in 4 seconds I got Faint. So they get a Mind Games on me, so I can't use my Curian Potion. So I'm thinking, fuck, I got Duel, and I got Curian Pot. So Whaler has Trinket, so I'm telling Whaler, I'm saying, I'm fine, I'm fine. In my eyes here, I'm just going to duel the rogue, and I'm going to disarm him to live. So watch this. I come out of the stuns. I press fucking Shuriken Storm. Wait, did I? Oh, I can't see because it's not targeting me. I press Shuriken Storm because I'm just like fucking nervous or some shit. I press Shuriken Storm again for no fucking reason. And then now, I don't have the energy to Shadowy Duel because I'm trying to build combo points for some reason when I'm dying. And then I come out here, I get the Shadowy Duel, but at this point, I'm just too low health. I don't even press Faint. I'm just like, I'm telling Whaler, I'm like, you might have to Trinket, you might have to Trinket. Whaler's coming out of Poly in 0.4, and he gets an Eviscerate on me. So, yeah, I choked up so hard, man. I had Faint back. I could have dueled the Rogue right away. There's no world I should have died here. We definitely could have won this game, man. This was a very sad one, dude. I also pre-cloaked, guys. I also got a pre-cloak of Shadows on the setup right here. Look at this. I come out of the poly. I press Cloak of Shadows right here too. That's why I thought I could sit it. Sit a whole Cloak of Shadows, and then the Cloak's going to fall in a second. Yeah, it's kind of sad, man. I think we played really good defensively into them. Our offense wasn't there because we were nervous. Yeah, this was definitely a warm-up. I would be excited to fight them again in a tournament setting. I think I have a lot more confidence, although that aside, they are definitely still probably the best RMP in NA. So it's not going to be easy, man. It will never be easy. It's a hard fucking mirror match, and they're very, very practiced on it. They practice this a lot.